It's not one of those that has like all the sensors on it, is it?
No. All right, as we get going back here, third period, Bell Tire, Honeybakes, States, Dobbs, Agbay, Martin, Mackenzie Flanagan, 4-on-4 hockey. Moving it ahead, this is going to be dropped into the Bell Tire zone, picked up by Mackenzie Flanagan. Sending it around off the wall, picked up by Agbay. Agbay sending it ahead, finding Dobbs. Dobbs now, one-on-one, Dobbs. Dropping it back for Flanagan. Flanagan trying to move it ahead. Agbay sending it back. High stick on Honeybake. I guess we're not calling high sticks. And that's sent back for Flanagan. Flanagan shot in. Going to go wide of the net. Picked up by Martin on the half wall. Martin moving it ahead. Oh, it rolled off the end of her stick. Now in a foot race. Martin going down. Martin able to keep that puck moving around. And took out a Honeybake player in the process. Sent ahead by Flanagan. Chipped in by Palucci. And Palucci lost her stick in the process. I've never seen so many sticks lost in a game. And sent ahead at icing his wave. This is going to be picked up by Morton. Morton moving it up the half wall for Markovich. And that's now picked back up by Morton. Morton going up ahead. Markovich collecting in neutral. Markovich skating in, going across, looking for Palucci. Palucci in the corner. Centering pass. Knocked down, back down behind the Honeybake net. And Palucci still fighting back there, trying to get it out. And Honeybake moving ahead. Kazarowski on ice for Bell Tire, out with Caitlin Flanagan and Morton. That's going to get sent down deep into the the Bell Tire zone. Picked up by Morton in the corner. Moved ahead for Clemens. Sent ahead. It looks like Bell Tire is at even strength here. Now we should all be at even strength. We have 5-on-5 hockey again. Sent ahead by Flanagan. And chipped back down by Morton. Sent ahead by Evans. Down into the Honeybake zone. Honeybake with possession now. Down into their own zone behind their net. Clemens on the hunt. Up to the half wall. Shipped out by Honeybake. Picked up by Evans. Evans in neutral. Evans moving it ahead to Flanagan. Flanagan going to send it deep. And that's going to be picked up by Cruciano down in the corner. Now Evans. Evans dropping it back for Martin. Martin going across. Looking for Bowman. Bowman sending it down deep. Picked up by Cruciano behind the Honeybake net. Now moving it back the opposite way. And that's Markovich dropping it back up for Martin. Martin walking the line. Martin shot in. He's going to get blockered aside by Honeybake's goalie. Picked up by Honeybake on the half wall off of Markovich's skate and kept in momentarily. Now into neutral. Picked up by Bowman. Bowman ahead to Dobbs. Dobbs going up to Agbay, who gets tripped up in the process. Markovich at the half wall. Now Dobbs. Dobbs walking in. Dobbs shot. He's going to get covered up. A little pushing and shoving after the play. .14:04, third period. We're going to do one more Dobbs here on the draw with Markovich, Agbay, Mackenzie Flanagan, and Bowman. Flanagan sending it down deep, picked up by Dobbs, up to Agbay. Agbay to Mackenzie. Mackenzie shot in, deflected, gets turned aside by the Honeybake goalie. Agbay trying to keep it down into the corner, up to the half wall, and cleared out of the zone by Honeybake down into the Bell Tire zone. Picked up by Flanagan. Flanagan turns behind her own net, sending it back the opposite way for Bowman. Bowman moving it up for Agbay. Agbay keeping it moving ahead. Chipped in by Palucci, who's out there with Hewer now. Caitlin Flanagan stepping out. Kazarowski on ice for Bell Tire. Palucci, Hewer, Kazarowski, Mackenzie Flanagan, and Caitlin Flanagan. Stepping in is Hewer. I'm sorry, that was Palucci. And Kazarowski now down in the corner. Hewer keeping it in. Kazarowski sending it back down deep. Picked up by Honeybake in their corner. Stick down by Palucci. Moved up the wall by Honeybake. Hewer chasing behind the Honeybake net. Catching up, freezing the puck. And it moved around to the half wall. Kept in by Caitlin Flanagan and sent back down deep into the Honeybake zone. Chased by Hewer. Now kept in by Flanagan. Kazarowski chipping it back down deep into the Honeybake zone. Bell Tire going for a line change. Evans coming back in for Bell Tire. Clemens on ice, and this is going to be chased down by Mackenzie Flanagan as it rolls into the Bell Tire zone. Sent up ahead, collected by Evans. Evans chipping it ahead for Cruciano. Cruciano at the half wall. And now Honeybake coming back the opposite way. Morton and Caitlin Flanagan on ice for Bell Tire. This is going to be chased down by Clemens. Clemens moving it ahead, back out to neutral. Cruciano trying to get a stick on it. Evans gets it into the zone, delayed offsides. Bell Tire tagged up. Honeybake coming back the other way, down into the Bell Tire zone. This is going to be chased down by Morton behind the Bell Tire net. And a collision happened behind that net. Picked up now by Caitlin Flanagan, moving it out to Cruciano. Gets it out to neutral. We have a penalty going to be called on Honeybake on a slash. So that'll put Bell Tire onto power play. It's going to bring out Dobbs, Agbay, Markovich, Mackenzie Flanagan, and Martin. Dobbs on the draw. Puck is down. Honeybake trying to clear it out. Hits a weird part of the boards and comes back out to center ice. And that's going to be on Markovich. We're going to be on 4-on-4 hockey again off that trip on Markovich. That'll come down into the Bell Tire zone. Martin, Mackenzie Flanagan, Dobbs, Mara, and Agbay on ice. Streeter in net. 4-on-4. Puck is down, one back. Martin in the corner. Martin moving it around to Flanagan. Up at the half wall, sending it back in. Martin able to get that puck out. Picked up down by Dobbs. Dobbs moving it ahead to Agbay. Agbay driving the net. Agbay shot. Goes wide. Picked up by Honeybake at the half wall. Picked up now by Palucci. Palucci backhand in. Turned aside by Honeybake's goalie. Chased down by Agbay. Honeybake coming back up ice. Gaining neutral. Defended by Martin. Pushing wide. Goes down into the corner. Martin able to pick that puck free. And now coming back the opposite way. Martin backhanded up. That's going to hit and go past the Honeybake player and gain neutral. Chased down by Kazarowski. Kazarowski turning up ice. Gaining neutral. Bell Tire going for a line change. Caitlin Flanagan. Morton stepping out. Kazarowski down in the corner. Kazarowski turning. Kazarowski going up top trying to find Flanagan. Couldn't quite make it to her. Palucci keeps that in for a moment. And now Honeybake coming back the other way. Honeybake shot is going to find the back of the net. That'll put us in a 2-1 game. We have 10 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here. We still have 4-on-4 hockey for another 42 seconds. So you got Hewer on the draw here. She won that back. Clemens out with Bell Tire. Martin, Mackenzie Flanagan. Flanagan driving up ice. Have an offsides call. You were on the draw just outside of the Honeybake zone. Puck is down. That is one back deep into the Bell Tire zone. This is going to be picked up by Mackenzie Flanagan. Flanagan's going to move it around the wall, finding Clemens. Clemens chipping it ahead, getting it out to neutral. Picked up by Hewer. Driving down deep into the Honeybake zone. That's cleared back out. Picked up by Flanagan. Flanagan moving down into her zone. Sending it around for Martin. Martin going off the glass. Finding Clemens. Clemens trying to move it ahead. Picked up at the half wall. Now sent in. Picked up by Flanagan. Flanagan moving to Hewer. Hewer with a little bit of room. Hewer coming up free. Hewer sent hard into the boards. That puck's going to make its way down deep into the Honeybake zone. Now Bell Tire back at the even strength here. 5-on-5 hockey. Agbay, Markovich, Dobbs, Caitlin Flanagan, Martin on ice for Bell Tire. Markovic with possession here. Agbe now taken down to the ice. Pick free. Martin giving it free. Dobbs now coming out with the puck at the half wall. Sending it wide. Going to Agbe. That's going to make its way free. No icing. Picked up by Honeybake. 9:10 on the clock. Sent up through by Honeybake into neutral. And they're retreating back into their own zone. Clemens, Cruciano, Evans on ice with Bowman and Caitlin Flanagan. Honeybake coming up through, picked up by Bowman. Bowman going wide, finding Clemens. Clemens moving it up ice, gonna find neutral. Cruciano now, a little bit of a break. Cruciano gonna try and send it in on net. It goes wide, picked up by Honeybake behind their own net, chased down by Evans. Down into the corner. Battle happening at the half wall, picked out by Palucci. Palucci trying to get it free, and that's going to come up top where Flanagan's going to take a shot. That'll be gloved by Honeybake to freeze play. During our last break on introducing our special guest, Lex, I forgot to mention Lex is a Bowling Green women's hockey player. Just finished up her season. Her dad's at home watching. All right, we've got Hewer, Kazarowski, Palucci out on ice. Flanagan taking a hard shot. Bowman out with Flanagan on deep for Bell Tire. Kazarowski going to send it back down deep into the Honeybake zone. 8:18 on the clock. Honeybake walking that around into their corner. Kazarowski chasing down at the half wall. Picked up now by Dobbs. Dobbs trying to send it ahead. Gets cleared back into the Bell Tire zone. Picked up by Bowman. Bowman sending it around for Flanagan. Flanagan moving it up the wall. Palucci's going to get it free, and that is going to go the length or an icing. As we change up the line here, Markovic, Dobbs, Agbe coming out for Bell Tire with Martin and Morton. Dobbs on this draw. 7:57 on the clock. Puck is down, one back. Martin sending it around the boards, finding Agbe. And now Morton. Morton going back to Martin. Martin hitting back the other way. Martin now hitting the brakes and coming back the opposite direction. Coming up off the wall, finding Markovic. Markovic backhands out. That's going to clear out to neutral. Go into the Honeybake zone. Chased down by Dobbs. Now picked up by Markovic. Markovic waiting for her team. Enters the zone. Sends it down deep. That's going to roll behind the Honeybake net. Evans stepping in for Bell Tire along with Cruciano. Honeybake coming up through neutral. Gaining the zone. This is going to be chased down by Martin. Martin with possession. Martin sending it up the boards, finding Cruciano. Now Martin hitting the brakes, coming back the other way, settling the puck down. Going up ice, finding Cruciano. Oh, no way. It looked like Cruciano got a piece of that, but maybe not. So we're going to have Mackenzie and Caitlin Flanagan out with Hewer, Palucci, and Kazarowski. Bell Tire. It's like 7 minutes on the clock. Hewer on the draw. Puck is down. Honeybake trying to come through. Picked up by Mackenzie Flanagan. Skating up through neutral. Sending it out to Palucci. Palucci going wide to Kazarowski. Kazarowski with a play to herself. Able to get a shot off. Now Kazarowski behind the net looking for a backhand. Sent out by Hewer up to Caitlin Flanagan. Caitlin Flanagan shot in. Gets tipped down by Palucci. What a tip. Goes wide of the net. Picked up by Mackenzie on the half wall. Shot over top of the net. Goes to the half wall on the opposite side. And this is going to be cleared out by Honeybake. Honeybake gaining the Bell Tire zone. Chased down by Flanagan. Caitlin circling. Markovic here to help. Markovic picking it free. Markovic coming out free with it. Markovic now one-on-one. Markovic with a quick move around. Waiting for her team as they go for a change. She's going to dump it deep as Dobbs and Agbe step out with Bowman and Martin. This is going to be at the half wall. Martin stepping in. Keeping that puck in the zone momentarily. Agbe trying to push it through. Agbe getting beat up down there. And that puck makes its way down behind the Honeybake net. Chased down by Agbe. Now Markovic. Markovic trying to get her stick on it. Dobbs gets a stick on it. Coming up free into neutral. This is going to come free down in. Bowman on defense here. Bowman getting that puck free, shipping it ahead, finding Dobbs. Dobbs at the half wall. Dobbs trying to go wide with it, finding Markovic out wide. That's going to be picked up by Martin. Martin sending it ahead. Martin coming free. Martin chasing it down into the Honeybake zone. Martin still on the hunt, chasing all the way back as her team goes for a change. Martin gets the possession in the corner, comes around. Martin's with a shot. Oh, and it goes wide of the net. And there is a hard takedown there behind the net. I'm not even sure who that is, but we are going to have another Belle Tire power play. That was Cruciano as she makes her way back to her feet. I'm going to keep that girl down with 5 minutes and 17 seconds left in this game. Stepping out on ice for Belle Tire. Going to be Hewer, Palucci, Caitlin, Mackenzie Flanagan, and Kazarowski. Puck is down. Hewer with possession. That's going to get chipped up into the netting and out of the ice surface. Wait for another puck here. So Belle Tire on a power play. Hewer on the draw here. Belle Tire needs to find the back of the net. Get him up back by 2. Picked up by Caitlin Flanagan. Caitlin sending it wide for Palucci on the half wall. Palucci pulling back. Loses her edge. Keeps playing from on the ice surface. Kazarowski now down in the corner. Trying to move it around. Moves it around to Hewer. Hewer going back up to Palucci. That misses her stick. Picked up by Flanagan. Flanagan trying to keep it in. Keeps it in. Dumps it down deep for Hewer. Hewer pulling back. Hewer dropping it down to Caitlin Flanagan. Caitlin walking the line. Shooting it in. Goes wide of the net. Rebound covered up by Honeybake's goalie. Agbe Markovich Dobbs out on ice for Belle Tire. Martin stepping out with Mackenzie Flanagan. So we've got Agbe, Dobbs, Markovich, Martin, and Flanagan. 1:22 on the clock. Dobbs on this draw. Puck is down. And that's sent back by Agbe to Martin. Martin over to Mackenzie. They're just going to chill it out here. Going over to Markovich. Markovich walking in. Getting it down to Dobbs. Dobbs backhand back to Markovich. Markovich going back to Dobbs. Intercepted by Honeybake. Sent clear out into neutral. Picked up by Flanagan. Flanagan turning the circle. And coming up ice. Going wide to Markovich. Markovich going ahead to Dobbs. Dobbs gaining the zone. Drop pass to Markovich. Over to Flanagan. Flanagan walking in. Shot. Loved by Honeybake. 50 seconds remaining in this power play for Belle Tire. 4 minutes and some seconds remaining here in this game. Same personnel for Belle Tire. Markovich, Dobbs, Agbe, Martin, Flanagan. Dobbs on the draw. Puck is down. Agbe dropped to Martin. Martin going to Flanagan. Flanagan up top. Flanagan going down to Martin. Martin walking in. Shot. Goes wide of the net. It's going to rim around. Picked up by Flanagan. Flanagan selects it in neutral. Flanagan rolls off the end of her stick. Goes down into the Belle Tire zone. She's going to send it around where it's going to be picked up by Martin. Martin moving up ice. Going to Agbe. Agbe with a little bit of room. Agbe gains the zone. Sends it deep. It's going to be chased down by Markovich down in the corner. Hewer stepped in on ice for Belle Tire. Agbe stepping in to help. Hewer back behind the Honeybake net, freezing the puck on the wall. Agbe stepping in. Martin and Palucci with Caitlin Flanagan on ice. That puck frozen in the corner with 1 second remaining. Now even strength for Honeybake. Even strength for Honeybake as that puck finally makes its way free almost and gets sent down to Palucci. Palucci at the half wall with an extra effort to keep that puck in. That puck comes wide, picked up by Martin. Martin stepping up here, trying to keep that puck out of the zone. Gets sent down deep, picked up by Flanagan. Flanagan hitting the brakes, moving it backwards, picked up now by Martin. Martin coming wide and is going to send it up. It's going to hit off the back of Kazarowski and stay in the zone at the half wall. Now Martin going down into the corner. Stepping in now Hewer, moving it around, finding Palucci. We are going to have another penalty on Honeybake. Parents are not thrilled with the call. So we will have a power play. Actually, Belle Tire is going to take a timeout. So when we get going back again, we are going to have 2 minutes in a power play with 2:33 remaining in the game. So Belle Tire is going to go on a power play pretty much the rest of the game. As we get moving here, 30-second timeouts over. Dobbs, Agbay, Markovich, Mackenzie Flanagan, Martin on ice for Belle Tire, Streeter in the net. 2:33 on the clock, 2 minutes on a penalty. Puck is down. Agbay to Flanagan, Flanagan to Martin. Martin walking across to Markovich. Markovich shot in, out in front of the net, free. Cleared back out. It's going to be picked up by Markovich at the half wall, sending it down for Dobbs. Dobbs behind the net, trying to do its toe. And that puck makes its way free. Dobbs trying to stuff it in. That makes its way down and sent back down from Markovich to Dobbs. Dobbs backhands it up to Markovich. Markovich backhands to Mackenzie. Mackenzie shot in. Mackenzie's going to find the back of the net from the 20. And that's going to put Belle Tire up 3-1 in this state's game. 2:02 on the clock. It took Belle Tire all of 58 seconds to find the back of the net. All right, so we've got Morton, Caitlin Flanagan, Rucciano, Evans, and Clemens out on ice for Belle Tire. Here we go, puck is down. Honeybait coming up ice. Caitlin Flanagan trying to keep it free. Picked up by Morton, sent around at the half. Picked up by Clemens. Empty net for Honeybait. 6 skaters. Desperately trying to find the goal here. Sent in. Sent down by Streeter. And Clemens. Clemens down in the corner. All right, Clemens is on her. She's getting to her feet. I think she skated in hard and got pushed into the boards. I think she hit the back of her head, but she is on her feet, skating off under her own power. Maybe with a little bit of help from Dan. Actually, I think she might be helping Dan get back to the bench. All right, so we're going to get moving again. So we are still going to have an empty net for Honeybait. There's going to be 6 skaters on ice. We've got Bellucci, Kazarowski, Hewer, Mackenzie Flanagan, and Martin on ice for Belle Tire. They're going to look to put one in the empty net here. Hewer on the draw, puck one down. Honeybait with possession in the corner, chased by Flanagan, sent around, and centering pass, missed its mark, shot in. And now Martin behind the net, and that cleared out. Hewer now going to go off the boards, finding Kazarowski. Kazarowski trying to get it clear out of the zone. Finally works her way free. Kazarowski's going to take a shot, and Kazarowski's going to find the back of the net from the point. Kazarowski's going to make this a 4-1 game for Belle Tire. All right, 1 minute, 12 seconds. Didn't take Kazarowski long to put that one in on the empty net from half ice. So on ice, we're going to have Bowman, Caitlin Flanagan, Dobbs, Agbay, and Markovich. Bowman with possession, turning up ice, getting it sent wide for Agbay. Honeybake with possession, gaining the Bell Tire zone. Bowman sending it down into the corner. Now chased down by Dobbs. Bowman's going to try and freeze it here. Waste some time and get tied up. Dobbs jumping in to help. Markovich out front. Caitlin out front. Caitlin's going to step in, move it around. Honeybake trying to center. This cleared aside by Agbe. Agbe's going to send it down ice. And that's going to roll the length. Icing wave. Honeybake with an empty net again. 6 skaters on for them. They're circling in their own zone. Agbe disrupting that pass ahead. Sent ahead. Bowman trying to step in. Centering pass blocked by Flanagan. And now cleared out. This is going to be picked up right up top by Honeybake. Sent in. Wide of the net. 20 seconds on the clock. Honeybake going wide with the puck. Getting put down. Dobbs backhanding up to Agbe, who gets it cleared. And that should be now at neutral. It's going to be pin ahead, and Markovich is going to send it down ice. That's going to be it for Bell Tire. 2 for 2 in this state's tournament. It's going to go up on a win 4-1. We will be back tomorrow night against Little Caesars at 8:30 for the 3rd game in states.